Hey, Fit Fam. Hey, I had no idea if this was actually going to work. I've been trying to go live in our group like for the past hour, and for some reason, it's just not working. So maybe something's going on with Facebook. But before I started my workout, I wanted to make sure that I got this off of my chest so that I got everything out because sometimes I just get that mojo going. And if I don't talk about it in that moment, I'm going to end up forgetting something, right? So I've always said, what is your why? And you need to define a why that's going to make you cry because saying that you want to lose 10 pounds is not going to be motivation enough when things get tough, when those days are hard and you just don't feel like doing it, right? The difference between a goal is something you want to achieve, right? So that goal can be to lose 10 pounds or to tighten and tone or to be healthier or whatever that may be. But your why needs to be so much bigger than that. So breaking down your why in a map like this is going to be very helpful. And I don't even remember if they call these circle maps or I remember doing them in school. I know that, but what kind of map? I have no clue. But why, and then breaking down your reasons and even breaking that down more if you want to break that down more. So for me, one of the things when I very first started was because in my family, most of the women are overweight. I don't say that in a mean or rude way in any way, but for me, I didn't want that to be me or my generation. So I knew I had to do something about it to prevent that from happening to myself, right? It's not what I wanted for me, and I didn't know how else to change that path other than to dive even more into health and fitness and my nutrition. So that's actually the gist of what got me started. Like I wasn't happy in the place that I was, and all I thought about is that, and that's how I seen my future, and that's not what I wanted. So for me, that's a big reason why. Like everybody would tell me genetics, like I was big boned and I would never be where I wanted to be and reach the goals that I wanted to reach. Like all this negativity, I always heard, and so for me, I wasn't going to accept that. I was going to do something to change that. And that's where it all started. So, thinking of things like that, whether it's like things in your household or letting your life and emotions evolve around food. For me, another big reason is a role model for my kids. I want to leave my kids with a good example so that they have better futures. They know this is why we eat this way and why we don't eat this junk and what it does. Like I make my kids involved in all of that. I teach them the ins and outs of why we eat the way we eat and what we gain from it and why we don't reward ourselves with food and why we don't look at food as punishment, because all of those things are key factors into our mindset and the way that we think about food and the way that we fuel our body, right? Like all of that matters and all of that is important. So thinking about that, it's another big why for me. I'm also really, really big into helping others and paying it forward. I'm really passionate about ending this obesity trend. Like it still baffles me how high obesity is. Like I just don't understand it. And I think it's just because I'm involved or in this like health and fitness bubble that I keep trying to expand. So for me, I look at that as like, how is this possible that this is still this way? But also knowing that like the FDA and the food regulations and all of that is not on our side by all the hidden sugars and sugar addictions and all the crap that they put in our food. So knowing that and keeping that knowledge and research and keeping it going and staying tuned in and dialed into that information also makes a difference. Like really knowing what you're putting in your body. Another why for me. I want to travel and explore the world when we retire. And I want to do that happily, in shape, active. Like I want to actually explore, hike, do all these things, skydive, like all of these active things that if my health and nutrition was not front runner in my life, I probably wouldn't physically be able to do that, right? So I want to physically be able to do all of those things. So I don't want health issues to stop me from anything in my life. I want to be and live every part of my children's life. I want to outlive my children. Like that doesn't even make sense saying that, but like That's how serious I am. Like, I want to live the best life and I want to be in control of it. I do not want food or health or lack of energy or any of that to control my life and what I want to do in my life. That's not going to affect my dream and goals. And so thinking about that is a big, powerful why. So thinking about all of these things, and once you map it out like this, writing a statement. And basically a statement of all of these things. I am doing this because da 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 da. I want this because da 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 da. All of these things you just did is basically going to create a statement. And that statement would say, like mine, for example, I am doing this because I want to set a great example for my children. I want to live and enjoy life without health issues holding me back. I want to help others and stop the obesity trend. I want to continue to compete in competitions, and I want to happily live my life traveling. So just taking those bits and pieces of information and putting into a statement. So when you wake up on those bad days, because not every day is going to be good, you have that statement to read and be like, boom, that's why I want to do this, because a number on a scale is not going to be enough power to push you forward on those hard days, right? So now we have our why, we have our big picture, we have our goal that we are working towards, whatever that goal may be. And our goals and our whys will change after a program. The further we are on this journey, we are on this journey for life. I have never once said that this is going to be some kind of quick fix, because I am not about that. This is about changing your life for good. This is not about a workout. This is not about a healthy meal. This is about your life and the worth that you have, and know that you deserve anything and everything that you want to achieve. So knowing that, owning that, and taking control of this by actually doing the work and mapping it out is going to make you stronger. It's going to make you better, and you're going to feel better about the way that you are doing things. You're going to wake up one morning and you're going to say, this is why I'm doing this. And you do it. And you're going to wake up the next morning and you're going to do the same thing. You're taking one day at a time, which is basically baby steps to the big goal, right? And as we map out these baby steps, that's creating the bigger picture for us. Because right now you might not have big goals because you're so geared focused on that small goal, right? But taking that small goal and breaking it down into other goals to get you there is what's going to be able to allow you to take those step after step after step until you achieve that goal. So another thing that I thought was awesome is breaking down short-term goals and long-term goals. You can start from your long-term goal. I want to lose 40 pounds, right? In a year. Because don't set yourself up for failure by saying you want to lose it in a month when that's not attainable and that's not ideal and that's not healthy. We are on a sustainable trend for life. This is a sustainable journey that you can do forever. And so you're teaching and learning these habits to instill throughout your life. So you want to take it and break it down into other steps. Program you're on right now. Say you're on a 21-day program. Break it down by your goal for each week. Goal 1, I want to go down to 1 soda a day. No sodas. Whatever that goal may be, it all depends on where you're starting at right now. So breaking that down. Week 2, I want to try 3 new vegetables I've never tried before or that I used to not like, because your taste buds are going to change and your thought process is going to change. And as you eat cleaner and you eat healthier, all of that's going to change, and you'll find that you'll like a lot more vegetables and a lot more foods than you used to like. Week 3, I want to try a new recipe from the Fixate on Demand. I want a meal plan, meal prep. I want to begin a new exercise program if you haven't been exercising, or I want to try this program next. So thinking about those goals weekly is going to be able to give you something to have that non-scale victory. You're not focused on that scale. You're not focused on a number. You're focused on different things that are going to make a difference in your life. Then you take your long-term goals. 30-day goal, 60-day goal, 90-day goal. your year goal, right? And you break them down into little steps like that. So for example, your 30 days could be soda free for 30 days, right? You started out with only one a day and now you're completely soda free. Some people can do that cold turkey and some can't. It takes baby steps. But being able to set measurable goals like that is going to make it easier if you can't drop it cold turkey. Instead of emotionally eating and turning to food, I want to reach out to a friend. I want to reach out to the group. I'm going to do this. So changing that thought process, instead of this, I'm going to do this. Instead of looking at food as a reward or punishment, I'm going to look at food as fuel for my body. So thinking about the different things that you can map out as your goals. And your goals can be anything. This can be whatever you want it to be. But mapping it out to give you something else to look at other than your measurements and the scale. And that way you can see all of these other changes that you are changing and the habits that you are creating throughout your journey. A 90-day goal could be something about fully enjoying my new way of eating. By 90 days, you can realize that you don't miss the foods that you thought you could never give up. You don't miss that soda that you used to crave. You don't miss the Reese's that you used to eat every night, or the dessert that you had after you cleaned your plate. Whatever those habits are that you started with, you can make a map of something that you're going to notice the change that no longer affects you the way that you allowed it to control your life before. An example for the year goal, I already said, I want to lose 40 pounds and keep it off for good. This is important because so many people yo-yo fad diet and they lose 10 pounds, they lose 15 pounds, and then they gain it all back because they're doing a fad diet that restricts them and takes things away from them. And when they implement all of that back into their diet, they go back where they started because it's not sustainable and it's not something that you can do for life. Now, can you dial in the portion control system to make it better fit you depending on your needs and goals for a certain time frame? Yes, there are many options to do that. But the way for life, or the way to eat for life, this you can do for life. You're not limited of you can't have this, you can't have this. It's limited into your portions that are sustainable for you for a healthy macronutrient balance. And that's the gist of the food that you're making sure that your body is getting enough to fuel properly every single day. All that math and work is done for you. You don't have to figure that out. So knowing your why, and like I used to say, having a why that makes you cry, because if you don't cry when you're thinking about your why, it's not powerful enough. You didn't dig deep enough. So really think about everything that affects you, your thought process, the way that you look at food, the way that you feel, how many diets you've tried and failed, whether you feel like you're failing at certain areas in your life, whether you feel like balance is a thing, or whatever it may be. Noticing that to set your priorities and your habits, to set these goals and your why, so that when you read that, it brings tears to your eyes because it means that much to you. Because that's how you have to look at it. This means this much to me. How will I feel when I achieve this goal? What will it mean to me to achieve living a healthy lifestyle? What will it mean for my family? What will it mean overall? Like really diving into that. Like, what does it mean to you? Like the difference, is it going to make you feel self-worth and self-love and that you're important? What is it going to do for you? You have to really dial in and grab that so you can see the bigger picture and you know how it makes you feel in the end once you've achieved it, because that's how powerful it's going to be. That's how meaningful it's going to be. And like I said, as it goes on, you do it to do it. You dive in deeper and you know that that's what you want, but 30 days from now, you want something more. You might have a stronger, deeper why. Something might have happened in your life that now something else is a priority, because I feel like priorities Setting priorities is where you gain that balance. There's not a balance in overall life. Like, you're never going to be balanced. It's what your priorities are for the day. So when you tackle those priorities, tomorrow's priorities might be something different. Tomorrow's situation might be something different, but still having adjust on what is important and how to keep going from day to day is what's going to make the difference, because you will achieve your goals if you do the work. You put in the time and you think about what it really means to you, because this is your life we're talking about. This is every single day for the rest of your life, and nobody controls that but you. You have the power to make the difference. So I hope you make the difference. Happy Wednesday, unicorns. Love y'all. I'm not sure how to stop it now.